This is Module 1.1 for 6th grade math. We started with our composition books. And the very first thing you should have in there is your vocabulary words. You need to read these statements and sign the bottom. That's just stating that you understand you have these vocabulary words to learn, and you will be tested on them. These are the words. There's 11 of them from your book on page 77. You should have had them entered in Quizlet.com so you could build your own flashcards and study games that Quizlet.com offers you. The warm-up that we do for class would be 15 times 8, 23 times 7, 419 times 6, 45 times 12, and 68 times 7. When you multiply those on the warm-up, I have to line them up vertically. I got 96 for the first one. I'm sorry, I guess I should have said when you write down your warm-up questions, you should have paused the video at this point, worked them out, and then push play again. And that way you can see what the answers are. We 196. That one doesn't seem right. Hold on. I guess it is. Maybe I wrote the wrong problem down. It doesn't feel right. Number 3. Again, I can't multiply across horizontally. I have to set them up vertically. Number 3 should be 2,514. Number 4 should be 540. And number 5 should be 1,836. If you're not sure how to multiply a 2 by 2, there are a gazillion videos out there. Math Antics has really good videos to help you multiply multi-digit numbers by multi-digit numbers. Okay, so we're going to start lesson 1.1. And again, we are in the composition book. Okay. On the first example, it's showing you how to model. And I'm looking at page 5 in your book, page 5. And it's showing you how you're going to model multiplying decimals. Okay. First, we want to model the 1.5, 1 in 5/10. So I shaded, that's why you have 2 color pencils, red and green. I shaded to model the 1 in 5/10, the whole thing, and then 5 10 sticks, 5/10. I could look at this as money, $1.50. So if I had $1.50 and I exchanged it all into pennies, I would have 150 pennies. Once again, that would be 100 pennies, and then there's the 50 pennies. So that's why I'm modeling 1.5 as 1 5/10, one whole 10 grid plus 5 of the sticks on the next 10 grid. It takes 2 10 grids to model that because I have more than 100. The 3/10 is shaded in green, and I also have it marked right here. So I shade one vertically and I shade the second one horizontally. What that does is that allows me to see which squares are going to share both the red and the green colors. I count those squares that share the red and the green colors, and that is going to make 45. And it's going to be decimal 45 hundredths because I don't go over 100. If I was to take these 15 and move them over here, you could clearly see that it's going to be less than 1. And that is why it is decimal 45. Now, you're going to take that piece of paper. You might want to pause so you can shade all that in like shows in the book, okay? And you're going to take this piece of paper and you're going to do dot, dot, not a lot. Remember, we just do very, very small baby dots, okay? And you're going to glue it into the top of your page. That's the demonstration that you made. Then we're going to write something there as soon as I find the right book. Good grief, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is hiding. Okay, now we're going to do the algorithm. That's the way you model it. Now I'm going to show you the algorithm, okay? Multiplying decimals. And it's 1.5 times 0.3. Now I'm going to mark this. This is 1 decimal place here. I'm also going to mark this one. This is 1 decimal place here. Now I multiply 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 1 is 3, plus that carryover would give me the 4. Now, the reason why I mark that is because if I have 1 decimal place here and I have 1 decimal place here, that means I need 2 places in my final product. There's 1 place, there's the second place, okay? Now, why does that work? Do you remember how to multiply fractions? If I take that 1 5/10 times that 3/10, and I change them back into fractions, this 3/10 here is 3/10, right? Then the 1 5/10 I have to put into a mixed number. And 1 5/10, I'm going to do the fractional part first, right? 1 5/10, and then I do what I call bottom up. I put it into an improper fraction. Take your denominator times your whole number, and then add your numerator. So it's 10 times 1 plus 5. That gives me 15. And my denominator stays the same. Now, if you remember when you multiplied fractions, you multiply across the top and across the bottom. So 3 times your 15 gives you that 45, and then 10 times 10 gives you the 100. Putting it back into decimal form, if you have 45 pieces out of 100, all you do is put your decimal before your 45 to represent 45 hundredths. So that's why that works. Okay? So now we have a second problem to work on to model. And the second problem is going to take 3 pieces to shade. Okay? And the reason why it takes 3 pieces to shade is because I have the fraction 2 4/10. So I have more than 2 pieces I have 4/10 more, but I don't have enough to shade in all three, okay? So I'm going to have to glue this one in sideways. As you can see how it's going to fit kind of funny. Let's see if I pull that up. There we go. So I'll have to glue it in sideways. But again, I'm still going to do the algorithm for it. So this is how you model it. You shade 1 whole one, 2 whole ones, and 4 10 sticks for the 2 and 4/10 right here. You shade those red. Then you're going to come back and you're going to shade the 7/10. So you're going to take 7/10 of the first model, 7/10 of the second model, and then 7/10. That's all green, right? Then you go back and you count all your pieces. Well, if I've got 7 10 sticks here, that's going to be 70. 7 10 sticks here, that's going to be another 70. So far I've got 140. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to add these here. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of 4. So that's going to be 28 pieces more. So that's 168 pieces. And your decimal is always going to be right there because this shows that that's 100 and then 68 pieces. So for modeling it, if I put this on the page and glue it in, oh, this is page 6, by the way, of your book. So I have